All right, we have we got the bonnet wet in the sink, wrung it out, so it's damp. It's not super. I mean, we wrung it out lightly.
It's pretty wet.
Yeah, it's still pretty wet, but it's not sopping wet.
The wetter you get them, the faster they glide across the carpet.
Yeah.
And they pick up dirt while they're gliding, so you want them to glide super fast. Wetter is better.
Keep in mind, we're trying to just scrub this carpet. We're not really trying to pick up all the dirt now because we're going to extract it.
However, whatever we extract out right now, we won't. That'll eliminate the extractor having to take it out. If we do this right, by the time we get to the extractor, it'll just do a rinse, not an extraction.
But you can see the carpets are dirty. They were just freshly pre-vacuumed too, but they're dirty and they're coming really clean already.
Yeah.
A lot of that dirt's being absorbed into the pad.
These probably won't be perfect when they're done, but they might be perfect. They're gonna be close.
It's kind of an older carpet, but it still has some life in it. It's not real super matted down, which is a good thing.
We know that this carpet's at least 8 years old.
Yeah.
We don't know if it's older than that, but I know it's 8 years old.
They've always had quiet people up here that haven't been real wild, so the carpet's lasted longer than most of the carpets do. Yeah, this is always a dirty area from the front door straight to the hallway. This is where a lot of the dirt. This is an upstairs unit, but
that's your traffic lane.
Yeah, that's your traffic lane, your main one. There's still a lot of dirt people have on their shoes when it's been raining or anything. Their shoes get really dirty and it gets wiped off on the carpet, and there's nothing you can really do except get a good floor mat would help.
Or grease from the parking lot. When you have grease on your shoe from the parking lot, it don't come off on stairs. It waits till it gets to the carpet and comes off.
Get a better angle where you can see the lighting in here is kind of funny today.
You may not be able to see it, but the carpet's got a lot of good dark areas. It's not nasty dark, but it's got some darkness to it. It's got some gray areas. So like my brother told you, the oil orbiter we normally use, the older one, it had it's either called a capacitor or a relay, depends on who you talk to. But
if you look at a parts breakdown, you can find them online. It's called a relay.
But it's just a little electronic part that went out, and the oracle said normally it never goes out, but it can go out the day you get it, or it can go out in 15 years. So there's no determining how long.
Generally they last a while, but a lot of people have broken orbiters and they can't figure out what's wrong with them. And they just need to put a little $20 part in them, and it's not that hard to change out, and you can be back up and running again. The symptom that it showed, I don't know if you guys noticed on a video we shot, when you hit the switch to turn the thing on and the pad doesn't turn, it's like the motor can't get any juice, and that's because the capacitor's not firing. So if you have that happen, it's not necessarily a blown motor or something like that. It may just be a little simple capacitor which you can fix. And when we do the video, we'll show you how to put it back together. It's really easy. If anyone's got an orbiter and they've ever looked on the bottom and they've got the little white driver pad, you could take those 4 screws off, they're little Phillips head screws. You could take those off and don't worry about it, and that makes it a little easier to clean up underneath. So don't be afraid like a bunch of springs are going to pop out or anything. It's okay to take that white driver pad on the bottom off. Now when you put it back on, you may want to get some toothpicks or something to line the holes up so you can slide it on. The only tough thing is getting the holes lined back up sometimes, but it's not very hard to take apart. Now, and underneath that there's a little plate that you can see from underneath, and you need to take the driver pad off to be able to get to the top. There's a little bolt on there that you take off, and 2 Phillips head screws, and the bolt's so long when it goes all the way through the motor, but it's easy to take off too. And then you pull that out, you can see the relay. And it's just held on by some little snap-on screws, which they're not really screws. You just gently pull them out with your fingernails and they'll come apart and you can reuse them. And then you can get to the relay. But when you see the video, it'll make more sense, but it's just pretty simple to do. The only thing you want to do is make sure that you don't just pull the wires off without marking them somehow so you know how they go back on. And they make a bunch.
There's only 3 wires.
Yeah, there's only 3 wires. But there are a few different relays depending on the model, so they're going to need, you want to get the old one off if you need to replace it and get the numbers off of it. so that you can go get your part that you need to replace it. But you can take that plate off and you can clean it. If you clean carpets a lot like we do, you may have a lot of gunk that's up underneath that plate. And
I'm
you
gonna go ahead and flip the bonnet.
Okay, and you can take that off and just take your time. It's not that hard, and you can clean the underneath of the machine real well. See, that one's the machine's dripping water when he lifted it up, so that bonnet was a little damper than I thought it was.
I usually like to put them down pretty damp. The damper they are, the harder, the faster they glide, it helps.
But this is our backup orbiter, and we only use it around the house on our own floors and stuff for the most part. But we have it for just such occasions when maybe we have a breakdown or something. That's why we have more than one rub doctor, because if we ever have a breakdown or something like that, we want to be able to finish the job we're on while we're waiting to get something repaired. So far, the rub doctor has not needed any repairs, so we've been real lucky on that one.
Yeah, it's never had an issue.
And we've been using this since it was March of 2011 when we started using that. So
They're very well made.
Yeah.
These are nice too. The thing that broke on this, the work there that said he's never really had one go out before. Ours is like the first time. So, and nothing else is acted up on our overall. I mean, it's a perfect machine. It's very well made. So we highly recommend them.
yeah, so when things break, we try to tell people about it, because a lot of people are looking at these videos trying to decide if they ever want to buy any of these machines that we use or any of the equipment we use. And so we try to use them pretty hard and show you what they can do and what they can't do. And if something breaks, we want to tell you guys about it, because that way you'll know. And on the orbiter, it turned out it's not going to be a big deal to fix it. So now rub doctors are they're a little more difficult to take apart if you need to get into those. And it's not impossible to do, but you can do it, and you can order all the parts you need. So you can fix those if they ever break down on you. We just haven't had to do any repairs on it yet.
And all that vacuuming we did, there's a staple.
Yeah, this thing vibrates stuff up that gets stuck down deep in the carpets.
Yeah, it finds stuff all the way down. Some people they've asked us which brush to use if you're going to use the brush. People are talking about the green brush and the blue brush. The thing is the black brush is technically made for dry carpet cleaning, but it's the best brush. If you put the heavier brushes on there, when you pull the machine back, it'll try to tip over.
Yeah, you'd have to break them in really good before you could use them without struggling
The
with
black brush does everything, and you just slow down a little bit, and the black brush will completely pre-scrub a carpet.
You know, this spot right here was where the little red stain was at, and it's mostly out. So we got a freebie on that one, because it's going to disappear, which is a good thing. He's only got another pass to make there. We still have to, excuse me, we still have to do this hallway, and we have to do this bedroom, and this bedroom has a pretty dark, see if I can get the light on it. Yeah, you can kind of see right there, that's like an outline where their furniture was sitting. I'm standing where the bed was, but this whole area in here is kind of dark. And then we have this bluish stain right here. That's candy or something that's in there. It'll probably come out. But anyway, he's about done in there, and we have to pre-spray this carpet and everything, but we'll get that done, and we'll start the video back up and show you some more of scrubbing with the Orc Orbiter.